The faction imbalance is getting bad. Are the Alliance really falling this far behind? Where did the players go? Sign up to get our latest physical rewards. Bellular clips. Let's go. So let's see what he has to say about the faction balance. In my opinion, right now, there should not be factions anymore. Even for PvP, there shouldn't be factions. Fuck it. Just abdicate. Just abandon the whole thing. As much as you want, man, there's really no reason. Like, now that you know that there are so many bigger threats for Azeroth, like, dude, like, just as a leader on Azeroth, you're like, bro, the Void wanted Azeroth, Death wanted Azeroth, Light wants Azeroth. Everyone is aiming for fucking Azeroth. Maybe we should stop fucking fighting on Azeroth and actually like defend it from outer intergalactic fucking forces. Cause, you know, like, we can fight all we want, but it's like, at the end of the day, we're gonna get fucked if we don't have the strength to like defend the fucking planet, right? It's crazy.
Right, raid populations. This is a funny one. So the Horde Hall of Fame has filled.
Nice.
Right, so that's 100
For Mythic
kills
raid
of J-Lore.
on Mythic.
Mythic difficulty.
This whole Hall of Fame bullshit is the dumbest thing that Blizzard came up with in order to allow Mythic raiding cross realm. Just allow it outright. Who cares? Who fucking cares?
Horde. Yep. For the Alliance. For the Alliance.
9 guilds.
9.
Guilds, bro.
100 guilds. 9 guilds.
Honestly,
Wow.
that's better than I thought.
And it's not even because of
rating is
racial.
Really, wow, it's really skewed one direction.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not even the racials anymore.
maybe
It's
yeah. You know what would solve this?
nothing.
10-man mythic rating.
No.
So much of it is needing 20 players, right? And you need 20 players. I mean, cross faction will help us as well.
Yeah.
But it won't help it super well because cross faction guilds won't be a thing, and that's how people organize a lot of the time for mythic. So anyway, it's mostly about where the players live. It's where the players roll, because you need populations.
Yes.
And if you're a mythic raider, you'll have, you know, in Europe, if you're a mythic raider, you'll have a horde character on Tarn Mill or Draenor. If you're a prospective mythic raider, not on those servers, you'll just go there, because your opportunity, because you're not going to find a whole host of guilds looking for players like Alliance, Raven Quest. There's plenty of Raven Quest, like, but not a huge amount. Definitely not like World First guilds either.
No.
So it's always just this massive thing of just, yeah, that's it.
Well, it's similar in the US for Horde. Like, honestly, if you want to go, like, there you have like 3 or 4 servers for Horde on US. That's where you really want to go for to get into PvE. Like, was Illidan, Zul'jin, Area 52, I believe, and I think it was Thrall. I'm not sure. There was one more. I don't remember which one. But it's like those 3 that I mentioned, and the 4th one that I don't remember. Yeah, you go there. You can easily find a raiding group, and like you're not gonna have as much of an easy time to find a decent raiding group anywhere else, right? And even honestly, even Zul'jin, which is packed with Horde, but like there's a lot of bad players there. Illidan, in my opinion, Illidan's really decent. Like, I think I've been to like 3 guilds. They're all mythic raiders. All of them got cutting edge. I didn't participate. I just joined them randomly. I didn't even like look to join. It was just like a random invitation, and I found out that they're also like their cutting edge guild. My paladin that I don't even play is in a guild that is cutting edge, right? That was like my friend from Legion basically invited me to their guild. It's like a guild of like people he knows in real life. They're cutting edge. They're all super chill. My Zul'jin guild, unfortunately, we're all aiming for cutting edge. I don't think any of them were good enough for cutting edge. Like, it's like, okay, so this is what I mean by when I say good enough for cutting edge. The problem with, if you're getting cutting edge on like the last 2 weeks or whatever of the tier, in my opinion, you don't really deserve the cutting edge. You're way overgearing it. The boss has already been nerfed to shit, and all you were doing is hoping for the RNG that won't fall on the bad players to deal with mechanics. That was really like your main three three problems with that. So I don't think my Zul'jin guild was really worthy of cutting edge. They still didn't get it, by the way. They only got in the Zoth cutting edge, but that boss was a fucking joke, from what I understand. I didn't even bother. So yeah.
Just everyone goes there because that's where to go to mythic raid.
But then what's really funny is that this is like this almost creates a barrier in itself too, because cross realm mythic is not possible.
Yep.
So like
Yeah.
if it was always possible, then
Which it
it
should
wouldn't
be.
as much of an issue insofar as people feeling they have to go one way to play
Cross realm,
with whatever.
cross faction.
I mean,
That's how you fix the
honestly,
balance.
the same factions that we'll be raiding with anyway.
That's really how you
But
fix
anyway,
it.
yes. So Cross Realm Mythic will release when 100 Alliance guilds have got the kill.
Which is
So it doesn't
never,
release.
like?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, no, it doesn't release.
That would be brutal.
Uh,
Take that long. Wow.
Unless
yeah,
like
well,
people just start selling it to other
No,
guilds.
probably never. But yeah.
It'll be a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, there's a good point from Decor. Remember when the top 30 Alliance guilds in Raven Quest transferred Horde after Nihilotha? Smile W. Yeah.
The top
30.
30.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna Horde.
How many characters is that?
Well, that's 600 characters if you think 20 only. But if you imagine benches and alts, that's probably thousands. That's a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to just work out how much. That's many thousands.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's wow. Well, I guess there goes our server, but years ago. Now, for how long these things take? Sepulchre of the first ones, 63 days for the Horde to get there. Nothing
2
for the
months, not
Alliance.
too bad.
32 days, Horde Sanctum. 65, Alliance. Hang on a second, Nathria, 50 days, Horde. Alliance filled
Almost times 2.
in 82. Now,
That's bad.
Matt,
So you're
Yeah.
imagining
I
120?
don't know if cross-realm mythic raiding is going to happen for a long time.
So basically, 4 months for Alliance. That's like based on this, it will be 4 months. The only problem is you have less people in Sepulchre than you did in Sanctum,
Yeah, that's gonna
and
be
you can already
alright.
see it's like in Castlanathria, it's on like 30 days, which is like not really times 2, and you had a lot more players. Sanctum, you had already less players. Sepulchre, you have even less players. So
63 days. By this stage into any other tier,
Yeah.
like by this stage into Sanctum, it was essentially open.
Yeah.
It was well on its way for Nathria. There's fucking 9 kills. 9! 9 guilds have done it.
yeah.
This is a very large game. Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Is it though?
Hold the fuck on.
Yeah, but how many of them are on the last boss already, right?
Motherfucker, you're telling me 109 guilds have cleared this.
No.
Well, no, probably more.
Because it's 100 is like the max. So there could be like 20,000 Horde guilds cleared.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, no, I thought
Yeah.
that... Oh, I know the number of Horde guilds just past 100.
Oh, just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, no,
week,
that's
yeah.
why this is news.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a news
yeah.
show, Matt.
Oh,
It just
sorry.
happened.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
we're talking
okay,
about
okay,
it.
so
It's in and around 100.
I thought this was a documentary. My mistake. Yeah. So yeah, there's about 100 and 109.
Documentary, yeah.
12 or 13 of
Basically.
Bellular and Mythic.
Yeah.
I get...
Yeah, and it's like, bro, you wanna raid in WoW, bro, just don't even roll Alliance. Like, as sad as it is. It's not even about racials, it's just the people. That's all it is. Also, Alliance is a bad rep for being full of kids. This is like super old, so it's like even the rumors should have been like the kids already turned to like young adults, right? So it's like
That's like, you know,
you want to be with the boomers on the Horde.
2,500 people. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It may not be the 1%. Well, I mean, okay, this is definitely not fair, but oh my god, is it the Wowhead stats reporter, because it tracks achievements based on people with the Wowhead profiler add-on.
Ah, so at best it's polling the population. Yeah, it's a poll,
for-
but is it a
for
good
those-
poll?
But the 2% of people with the Wowhead profiler installed have killed or have ahead of the curve jailer. 2% of people with the Wowhead thing installed. Obviously, people are also saying, yeah, but Mythic Raiders aren't killing the Jailer and getting ahead of the curve because they don't need to. But they're. But then
you would assume they've killed him once at least.
well,
Of course, they want to see the fight.
Heroic. So it's like if you're progressing Mythic, you might not. But also, they'll be selling boosts because they're Mythic Raiders and they need to roll somewhere. So yeah.
I have never heard of a Mythic prog that doesn't kill the last boss on Heroic just for loot. Unless he really drops fucking dog shit, no one needs it, then yeah, they can skip it and like not waste nights on it. But usually, first of all, his item level is higher, and usually there's like a best in slot on the last boss, at least for few of the classes, mainly trinkets or like some armor piece.
So that's not
or
really
weapons actually. It was not real.
Yes.
Where'd the players go? They've gone.
Where do you think?
You did the documentary.
What?
Well, this is the thing, right? The whole like Mythic raiding is every single time the Race the World First happens, all of the Mythic guilds are like, this is fun, this is great, we enjoy it, but the fucking barriers, the barriers to entry are bullshit. I mean, was it?
Yeah, 100%.
Just quit. We're like, fuck it, we're not ready anymore. Fuck this.
Yeah.
And
not worth it.
There's another one as well before that as well.
Yo, Matt, you need a bigger chain, man. I don't know if you gained weight or something, but it's like the chain is gonna start suffocating you, man. I don't even know how you're comfortable with that shit. Like, I would always be like, fucking, get off me, man. Get off.
Pieces, yeah. And they're like, fuck this. And to be fair, that's Race the World First. And a lot of them might actually end up being still like Mythic Prog guilds. I don't know the
Okay, look, if Pieces, which is one of the world first raiders, quit, and that was announced, how many just Mythic raiders quit without announcing? Because like, well, they're no one. They just like try to get cutting edge every so often.
But or maybe some of their players who maybe disagree with that decision.
Actually, my alliance raid, that was they weren't cutting edge, but they were Mythic raiders. I think like they are. It's on Kel'Thuzad. They weren't cutting edge, I believe, but they were pretty close. They're like 2 bosses away from cutting edge, like consistently. So they're not horrible. They're not the best. And I don't see them online ever. Like when I go on my alliance character to farm some gold and shit, like they are never online.
Will end up in some of the
but it's
the
like
GM.
It's
messaged me recently, and she's just like leveling alt.
Like effort. And it's not just effort. Like, okay.
Lizard, why are you bothering?
Yeah, I mean, this is why.
The
this is why they're nerfing like Halandra so hard.
Yeah, well,
because it's clearly
just not given. Yeah,
it's clearly too difficult and too time consuming. But also, I think there's also so much of it's like.
The thing is, I would bet none of the bosses are actually difficult. I would say they are way too punishing. This is the biggest problem with like WoW rating, in my opinion. Is like, for example, and again, I'm using Final Fantasy, whatever, like fuck it. Because again, like I don't have, like, what am I gonna use? ESO. That's that's so different. Like the trials in ESO can't even be compared to raids. In my opinion, like in how WoW or Final Fantasy does. This is the problem with, like, this is why I like Final Fantasy. Even though you can wipe on a boss, most times it's not necessarily a wipe. A lot of times it's like 1 or 2 people died and you manage to res them fast enough for a mechanic to happen that you can keep going. You're not gonna kill the boss because of enrage timer, but you can still see the fight and practice mechanics. Also, faster getting back into the fight. There's no like, you die, your food buff stays. You die, all your cooldowns reset. Boom, you can literally do a pull timer as soon as everyone revives. Boom, like right away. Right away, everyone died. Okay, guys, ready? Ready. Okay, pull timer 15. No run back, no reses, no nothing, right? So it's like you get to see the boss, you get them to do the mechanics, you get to experience it like fresh, like it's still in your head. Meanwhile, running back and you're like, oh man, what was that like beginning of the fight, man? Don't remember, right? Fucking council, even though council was like a teleport away, running there, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is when the interrupt happens, right? It's like it's not clicking as fast, and cancel was actually like almost ideal in how fast you can get back into a boss, and even that took way too long because food buff, people start talking about some nonsense while you're waiting. There's like so much downtime, and you just lose your concentration, your focus. And I think that's the biggest problem with WoW raiding, aside from the gearing and the systems and all the blockades in order to get into raiding to begin with. Just like while raiding, there are blocks that are just like they're draining you mentally and they're distracting you, and I don't think that's a very good thing overall.
Like a massive time sink to get prepped
That
for it,
too.
and you have to rush super hard,
That too.
super
Yeah.
early to get actually there. It's a
Yeah.
massive time commitment, and I think
Yeah.
people have less of time commitment, and you'll get satisfying enough or similarly satisfying gaming experiences from other games.
Dude, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Heroic is more satisfying than Mythic. Just doing Heroic, I feel more satisfied than Mythic. Less time consumption, can do it whenever you want, can go into it even if you're safe to other bosses, less barriers to entry gear wise, and once you kill it, it's like it's hard enough to be satisfactory. It's not so hard where it's tilting you because someone's making a mistake, but it's hard enough to be like, good, we killed it, that's nice. I only spent 2 or 3 hours of my week on this and not 9 hours just to get one boss down.
I think so. That's the awkward thing. It's like it's not set up for success as a game mode, is the way I'd put it. Because
No,
I mean,
it's there to
I
punish
don't
you.
want to cast any judgment on the game mode. I certainly could, but I won't because that would be a bit unfair.
Dude,
It's my
honestly, I wish they would just mythic rating, man. First of all, the boss rush stuff is gonna be cool, but I don't care about that. Mythic rating, again, in my opinion, lower the item level, and mythic rating have like super cool mogs, like mage tower quality mogs, and that's it. Make the armors on heroic not glow, or like maybe a light glow, and make the mythic look just fucking majestic. Just fucking like go all out on like how cool mythic looks, and just like that's it. No need for more gear. In my opinion, I would actually more likely do mythic content, mythic rating, if the mogs were just super fucking cool. Or I'll probably wait like 2 expansions and then go solo it or whatever, right? But so but fuck it, just make it unavailable unless it's current tier. And that I think would be even the best thing. Mythic is only available as current tier, maybe. I don't know. That could be really cool, and then it's like you have to participate
personal opinion.
if you want
I
it.
think that there's definitely a whole
Kind of
bunch
like how
of
Mage Tower.
there's a whole bunch of reasons it's just not set up for success. Even if you love it to pieces, it might be like, well, this is
Pieces, rest in
I have to raid
peace.
3 nights a week to have.
It's like, okay, how come you can't get PvP rewards like 2400, even 2100 rewards like the mount and stuff? I think it's 2400 the mount. How come you can't get the 2400 rewards, the mogs, the elite rewards basically? Actually, it is 2100. The elite rewards plus mount plus everything after the season ends, but you can still go back and farm mythic raid loot. You make it seasonal. Make it like PvP. Make it seasonal. If you want this shit, you have to participate, and that's it. And you can honestly, at that point, you can also make mythic rating not a 20 men. Make it what do you call it? A scaling like a heroic. And yeah, will there be like better comps, whatever? Yeah, but it will be doable from 11 people to 20 people to 30 people. Some bosses might be easier than 30. It doesn't matter. Just getting 30 people is already a fucking chore, so who cares, right? Just do shit like that. I think that would be so much better for the game.
decent a decent chance of success for clearing this within the time frame. Because
And then
there's
they
so many
also,
bosses,
this
there's
is the
so much-
best thing, they will not even need to nerf it at that point. Make it challenging, that's fine. Because it's optional, you don't need to nerf it. Why would you? Fuck it, it's optional. This is the difficulty. You want these mogs? Fight for it. PvP is not nerfed. Yeah, there's adjustments to the class and stuff like that, and there are better comps and whatever. But every fucking class, and I believe pretty much every spec can get to 2400. Obviously, depends on the player. And it's not like you're changing anything in PvP. Don't change the mythic rating. Make it accessible. Um, do your internal testing or whatever. Make sure the mythic raid is doable. not world first difficulty, but make it doable, and fuck it, and just let people go and have fun.
It's so hard. I have to do like M plus for
Boss
gear.
rush would be cool
So
too,
that's the
though.
other thing where I think you have to do so many M plus runs early to get gear for it because you can't just gear through rating,
Yep.
which means your time commitment is so much higher than just
And
your
this is
load
the
time.
worst part. You have to do other content to gear for mythic rating. The whole point of it is like, well, I didn't phrase it right. You have to do content outside of rating to beat mythic rating, to the point where you're getting gear at the same item level as a mythic raider from doing other content, and then you're beating it by overgearing it because you can't even get gear anymore from the mythic raid because you're getting it from other sources. So what is the point of the gear in the mythic raid at this point? There's no point for the mythic raid gear because you can get it from other sources, and now you can even get tier sets from the other sources. It's
And
so
then there's all
dumb.
the monetary costs of like having the gold to pay for everything.
Yeah.
And it's that stuff where like Mythic Rating's just not set up for people to go and do it. Which in a video releasing maybe this weekend, maybe Monday, it's not the same in FF14 Savage difficulty. Not saying which one's better, which one's worse, but like in terms of how they're set up for people to play them.
Oh, you can just
There's a massive difference, and that's going to result in higher clears and higher. And
You know what? I'm not gonna say what's better or worse. Like objectively, subjectively, in my opinion, the only reason that Savage rating is superior to Mythic rating is because it's accessible. That's the only reason. It is accessible. You have strats for pugs. You can do it with pugs. And what I'm saying is that's how difficult the content should be for gear. If you want the best gear, it should be something you can do with almost any person as long as you have the strat right and they know what and the people know what they're doing and they can do the damage, like they play the class well. Anything else like ultimates for example is what mythic rating should be. It should be so fucking hard to the point where it scares people from doing it, but the reward is the coolest fun cosmetics. In my opinion, I don't like the ultimate weapons like the newest one, and the old ultimates have been around so much that there are ways to pug them. They're still like hard, but the strategies are there. Even if you read a strategy right now from the top strategy makers, whatever, about the new ultimate, you are not going to do it for at least half a year. You're not going to do T for at least like a few months of practice on like regularly. Ukob you can probably do, and what's it called? And ultimate weapon Ultima. Uwu you can probably do in a pug fairly fast. It's not that hard. These are bosses. Like their mechanics are old fashioned, so you can kind of like understand them faster. But like T are newer mechanics, so it's like a bit more complex, and the current one is even worse in how complex the mechanics are.
engagement.
like surely everybody who would do Dragon Song's reprise
Yeah.
would have been in a position where they
ESR.
could just have done it. They came out or started doing it.
Well, so
Like in terms of characters being ready, it's
There's
not much work,
a-
surely.
not much work. You're talking, well, people have prepped for it beforehand
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Savage gear, but you basically need upgraded Tombstone gear and Savage gear as a mix for your base, which is basically, you're talking like, I think 3-4 weeks of do the 4 Savage raids and cap your tomes a week. That's it.
It's actually less than that because it's the tomes, but all you need to do really is, I believe all you really need to do ultimate is get the crafted gear 590, like the 580 by the 580 and upgrade to 590, and I think that's really all you need gear wise to do the current ultimate.
Yeah, so they would have done
yeah.
that.
Yeah, they would have done that already by doing Savage
Exactly, yeah.
because you need to clear Savage to get into Dragon's Hunger Pass.
But that too,
So the
yes.
hardest thing to do in FF14 is requires so little preparation comparatively. You
Yes.
still need to buy some food, you still need to buy a lot of pots, especially if you're doing like hundreds of pulls. But it's like it shouldn't take you all that long to get close enough to best for it. Whereas World of Warcraft's very, very, very different. 8 to 9 weeks
Yep.
max if you don't do alt splits Yeah, so that's the thing where Savage players will have done that, but that's not a huge. Well, depends on how fast you prog Savage, but that's not going to be like 8 9 weeks of fucking full hardcore work. It's still time
Yeah.
gated by loot, but it's like yeah, couple nights a week maybe tops, and that's it. So that's the thing where it's like yeah, that's really about it. Versus Mythic, which has so much more, and also the 20 players versus 8 players. It's literally just harder to get 20 people
Yes,
basically
Yeah.
than it is to
it's
get
too
8.
much of a pain in the
Especially
ass.
when you're my Savage group can go straight into the ultimate. But even like using if you want to use like Savage as a what do you call
You can
Savage
pug
as
it.
a competitor for like early Mythic and some Mythic prog, you'd basically I did P1S. I literally just hopped into a party finder group and
Yep.
I didn't have the most I don't have like all my upgraded tombstone gear.
Yeah, it
It's just
doesn't
oh yeah,
matter.
there's a party, I'll just join. Oh
You need
yeah, I moved up to
570 for
fight.
it or
Let's see
whatever.
the
Like it's
macro.
really
We
really low.
took a while of a load of people
Or
dying and we made
575, I
mistakes.
think.
But then we
It's
did it
really
like oh
really
sweet.
easy.
Sorted, perfect. Jobs are good. And also I was saying like that like 8 to 9 weeks. That's since January before this ultimate released.
Yeah.
So you had what 4 months to do 8 weeks of clear.
Yeah. I'm just still kind of floored at that number.
Yeah.
The 109 to 112, 13, 14, 15 guilds.
I think,
That's
117. Dakor said.
117.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit mind blowing.
Yeah. That's a thing where if
And then
yeah.
that will actually that number will decrease. That will keep until 100 alliance have done it.
Yeah.
Less people will be able to do it because of the cross faction restriction.
Yep.
So that just leaves this feeling like a super arbitrary block to playing the game.
Yes, it is. There's no reason for it. There was never a reason for the 100 either. They just like threw a number. Let's make it 100. There's never a reason. Why not 10? Fuck it, just make it 10. Who gives a shit? 10 guilds cleared. Fuck it, yeah, open it up. Who cares? It's like, or like just make it after a few months. Honestly, you don't even need it. Like fuck it, just and like I'm giving like better ways, but it's like honestly, you do not even need it. Like that's the thing. You don't even need it. Just fucking open it up for the public to fucking play the game. Why have these restrictions? It makes no fucking sense aside from trying to get money from people for transfers. Like, oh hey, I found a great guild in Thrall and I'm on Zul'jin. Let me fucking transfer.
Yeah.
Can we expect the Blizzard will remove?
Ironically, if you have the time, by the way, I wouldn't even pay for the transfer. All you gotta do, make a new character on the server, and within 3 days you can be almost relevant.
Move this?
Like from 1 to
Certification?
60
I think
to
it is enough
relevant gear.
feedback.
If you have
Yeah.
like the
I
3
feel
days
like they
free,
definitely are
you
in that
can
sort of way,
most
but yeah,
likely
fuck
do it.
Yeah. We've
It's
seen the
so
feedback,
dumb.
We know you want to cross run, go for it. I think that's like a definitely part of their within their philosophical toolkit, let's say,
And you have the
to
gold
be able to
honestly,
say,
man.
yeah, fuck it, that's fine, whatever.
I even
So-
just think from a balance perspective then.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
they balanced it for maybe the first 10 or 15 guilds.
Yeah.
Who clear this.
Yes.
And then instead of all of their balancing that happens naturally via gear progression, etc., 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 taking care of the rest for
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
they then had to progressively balance it and balance it and balance it and balance it in the face of these numbers being kind of pitiful.
Yeah, I mean that's the we talked about this last week, I think.
We did, yeah.
Where it's I think
There was
that's
something.
the case where
Yeah.
they may think, okay, well people aren't clearing this, so we need to remove the balance issues. We need to make it easier for them. And I think that might have the impact of just having people go, I don't really care. That's
It's like if you're a guild that knows you can get cutting edge, you're good enough. I would not even raid for like 2 months when the raid 2 comes out and just wait until all the nerfs are happening and then just fucking clear it in like two sittings or some shit. It is so dumb that they're nerfing the raids so fucking hard for because people can't clear it.
speculation from my end,
Yeah.
because that's how I would feel if the goalposts were moving and I was trying to score at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for the
Like
goalposts
imagine
to
you're
stop
playing
moving.
soccer and because your team is not scoring, the goalpost just moves closer towards your team rather than you getting towards the goalpost.
But I feel like that's just them going shit. People
That's so.
fuck, people are doing this
Imagine
shit.
soccer that way. It's like,
Fucking
well, we need to help
It's like,
the
what's
team that's
happening?
losing.
Because they'll be looking at data, they'll be like, okay, well, there's so many wipes and so many guilds are,
Oh god.
dying and failing miserably at Hollandrus.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 400 million player deaths to a heated potato bomb. Fuck it, just nerf it. Nerf it. Sorry, the player experience comes before our intended raid design.
Clearly not.
I imagine the raid designer was kind of like, "Fuck's sake, that was such a cool fight. Why are you nerfing it into the bin?"
Yep.
But I think that's just kind of they kind of have to.
Yeah, well, they see, oh, there were this many
Yeah.
attempts this
But
week.
if they have to, just make it
Or
easier
then
already.
next
If
week,
you
oh,
know
there was
you're
this many
making it too
attempts,
hard,
this
just
many kills.
fucking.
Oh no, where have the people went?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
Clearly,
yeah.
they're doing it in response to
Yeah,
that.
but that's the thing where I think
Some
that's
are.
like, yeah, they almost certainly are. But to me, that's indicative of, again, this is like speculation. I can't say if any of this is true, or it's literally how I think they move and how they act. But so, I've said this before. I can't remember what the specific was, but it's always about player data and engagement to them, right? They clearly have. I mean, even Holly was talking about it a little bit in the classic Wrath interview. They love data.
Yeah.
She called herself a game data nerd. They have teams going over data and player engagement metrics and stuff all the time,
So that's
right?
what's ruined.
Well, we already knew that, but yeah, we already.
Yes, great.
did that.
Analyze the data driven
Yeah.
by the thing that you've made to produce just that data exactly.
Yeah. So yeah,
The question is, are they reading the data right, or are they reading the data like computers? It's like, are people engaging with this because this is fun, or are people engaging with this because they have to? Because they need to do something else that is fun.
so that's where I
Like, look at this. All the players are doing Torghast multiple times a week. Must be having fun. Yeah, no, that's not exactly why they're doing it.
think they look at the data and they make a change based on the data, right? I think they make the most immediate, sensible change. But I think when it comes to what they can change, the harder stuff, the longer term changes, the qualitative analysis of the data, I don't think they do that and make changes based off it. I think they probably do qualitatively analyze their data and like, okay, why are people not doing this? Why are people not doing Mythic? But nerfing the raid, I think that's one solution, right? That's tuning one of the knobs of why people aren't doing the Mythic. But I think
Sure.
they have this whole massive like, not a numbers problem, but a design problem.
Yeah,
For the
because
content,
how
for
to
the
get
game
into
mode,
the fucking
is why
content is
people
already a
aren't doing
pain in the ass.
And it's because of all that stuff where they're going to go, well, we make it easier. Then more people can clear. Fucking forehead easy. Absolutely
Yeah,
perfect solve.
fucking idiots.
But it doesn't address the fact that all these other problems with getting
Yeah.
guilds, player counts, population, buy-in time, buy-in money, stuff like
Here's
that.
something, right?
Oh, God.
Is a world where Jalor dies in 5 days. That way more people are playing Mythic and enjoying it. Is that better?
That is the.
Is that better for the health of the game?
That's better for the. Okay, no.
Is
No.
World of Warcraft a prestige esport?
See, the reason I'm saying no is because I know there are groups in Final Fantasy that were progging. I believe it was UCOB. No, it was T actually. Were progging T for half a year. Imagine every week, same fucking boss for half a year. Mad props to them. I would not be able to do that. But fuck, half a year. Do you think someone wants to do Mythic Raid? Really? For half a year and not get their loot? T, the Epic of Alexander, if you're wondering what T is. Epic of Alexander, the ultimate, guarantees loot when you kill it. And the best part is, once your static killed it, they can most likely kill it again because it's not really an RNG boss. There is a bit of RNG, obviously, like who gets some mechanics, but for the most part, it's a dance boss. All of the bosses so far as I've seen are pretty much a dance boss. There are certain patterns that you need, like you understand, you see it, you know where to go. There's not like some like, well, this guy got the debuff 3 times in a row, we're fucked. Right? So there's nothing like that happening. It's like, oh well, he got the first debuff. He has what's it called? An immunity, and he got this one. Well, he has damage reduction. He got this again. Well, the healers use their cooldowns on the tank, so good luck. There's nothing like that, and then you have to waste a B-res or some shit like that. There's nothing like that, like hardcore RNG in the bosses. Which again, can it make the fight fun? Yeah, but it's like it makes it also very hard to recreate the victory of the fight because of a certain RNG mechanics that happen, which can wipe the raid because of one person's mistake. Whereas like in The ultimates, it's like if once you know the fight, you know the fight, and that's it. Like there's nothing else to it, and that's fine. And also guaranteed loot. Now imagine you're trying to get your weapon that drops from the last boss of the mythic raid. You finally killed him. You got your cutting edge. You didn't get your weapon. Well, you have to do it again, and next week you have to clear it all over again because you can't save for the last boss anymore. You have to, do it all over again. Then you encounter the boss that is always wiping you, and that's the reason why you saved your progress is because you didn't want to get to this boss. That really does suck.
Super hard title, or is it a RPG that you play with your friends? Where are they falling in that? Are they trying? Because right now it seems like they want to have all of that.
Yeah, this is
I
where
mean,
I
again,
find it interesting because you've got the solution of we'll make it easier, right? But I think that kind of kills some of the like prestige of it,
Yeah.
some of the aspirational element.
well, of course. Well, first of all, it kills that to an extent. It doesn't kill for the people who are going to clear it after, but it kills for the people who got it before the nerfs. Because they're going to be lumped in with the guys who got after the nerf.
It's like, if fuck, I can't believe I'm doing this. If there was an easy mode in Dark Souls,
totally.
People wouldn't have felt like they were actually, beating something. If they played Bayonetta in one hand mode, just tap triangle to finish the game, they wouldn't feel like they learned anything, stuff like that. And I think it's like that's one element.
There
of
is
the
easy
raids
mode
need to be challenging enough to be actually
in
valuable
Dark
to do.
Souls if you know the builds.
But I think it's like
Blind prog there isn't.
part of it dying in 5 days shouldn't be because it's easy. It should be because people have 5 days of progress on the raid. Instead of, I guess we better go do splits, or I guess we need to do Mythic Plus because Mythic Plus is like the most efficient way to gear.
Yep.
We
and
need
PvP.
to spend so much time. It's like,
Yeah.
I think it's at the
Get the 2100 on a cheese build, cheese comp in PvP. Yeah.
And then get people straight to the want part of the game. And this is all philosophically what I would do if I were the game director. And I know fucking nothing, and I've never been a game director, so I might just be talking shit from a rose-tinted goggles
From an
view
opinion,
of video games.
yeah.
I completely will be happy to say that.
Yeah, sure.
But I think
we all do. We're not devs.
Do what they want.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing where if people want, then will they be finished with the game quicker? Yes. Will they be substantially more likely to play alts? Probably.
Yes.
Seems like that's
Yes. It literally feels like Blizzard is afraid of people playing alts. What's wrong with you finishing the game with one character and being like, fuck it, I'm done with this patch on this character, let me play another character and be done on that character. Like, I want to show the world I can play at the top level on 3, 4, 5, 6 different type of characters, classes, specs, etc. Why not? Fuck it. It's impossible right now. And it's still possible 9.2. It's still going to be impossible 9.25. And people say that Blizzard has changed their way on alts are like very misguided on what it means. And I highly doubt that in Dragonflight you will be able to play multiple classes to the same level.
Have more fun? Are they more likely to come back next time? I think that's the important part. That's the part that the PoE devs learned, where it's like, if we make people have fun, they'll come back next time. If we force them to play, they won't come back next time.
Imagine.
Wow. Yeah. I think
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learning.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they need to. That's the thing about Mythic. I think they need to suck it up and go, we're making this a lot more accessible. Not easier, more accessible. And accessible through all the other reasons that it's not accessible at the minute. Because I think people confuse accessibility and easy a lot of the time.
Accessibility means you can just go into the raid and just do it. Easy means you can do it and kill it.
Especially when it comes to like difficulty discussions.
Yes.
It's like, that's inaccessible. Like, no, that's hard. There's a difference. Because, if disabled people can beat Dark Souls playing with bananas, don't know if that specifically happened, but if people can play with all of these crazy stuff, then it's not an accessibility problem. Technically, I mean, there's reasons it could be.
I'm sure someone beat Dark Souls with a controller using his feet. I am pretty sure that would happen.
Different disabilities, I wouldn't count that out ever. But it's like, the difficulty is not the problem. It's really not. At least I don't think so. Maybe the world first difficulty in World of Warcraft is, but yeah.
I think it could be.
I wonder if there's an add-on for WoW that does your, like, not necessarily does your rotation for you, but like makes it so that one button you can use for like your rotation. The problem is like it doesn't really work on like in Final Fantasy because you have combos, but it's more like a priority click. So it's like it automatically changes your button to the priority click. Because you already have the add-on that tells you what your next button should be for the most DPS. Is there an add-on that just changes your button automatically? Because if there is, you can use that add-on to play on the controller completely.
Yeah, no, generally more accessibility. I think a good thing. Well, in terms of like the other type of accessibility, I think they do have teams and stuff on that, which is good.
Oh yeah, of course, and they're doing great work there largely.
Yeah. Sorry, I know this kind of derail things a bit. I honestly, I'm just, and especially compared to these other tiers, I'm shocked. You know,
Yeah.
I'm shocked. 63 days into Sanctum, the Alliance were almost there.
Yeah.
63 days.
The thing
into
is,
this,
I believe
you know,
Sepulchre is way easier than Sanctum. Not way, but like substantially easier than Sanctum, especially the last boss. And the reason I'm pretty sure it's 63 days for the Horde instead of like 35 like in Sanctum is mostly because there are just no players.
there are 9 Alliance guilds.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not surprised. This has been on the writing's been on the wall for exactly this.
Yeah, of course.
maybe
Everyone
surprised
saw
how quick
it
the
going
turnaround
less
was,
and less and less.
But
Yeah.
it's like now every way Blizzard designed Mythic and designed the factions has led to this point. And I think a lot of people could have told you this was the eventuality years ago. Honestly,
yeah, some of this has happened in
Yeah, as soon
TBC.
as they announced it was
Well,
a bad
like
idea.
sort of different, but
yeah,
the way the servers become extremely extreme.
And you know what the
And-
worst part is? Now that it's finally a problem, now it's going to take 2 years for Blizzard to figure out how to solve it instead of just like, you know what, just fucking remove the barrier and that's it.
Yeah, I suppose in this situation, just the word gets out that Horde is the place to be, so everyone goes to Horde, which then means that the stragglers and Alliance don't really
Because
have
it
hope
is.
of doing what they need to do to open it up cross realm. So, oh yeah, right. Stack was saying here.
As much as I love my
if we
human
sort of assume
paladin,
things to be the same, Alliance Hall of
my
Fame
Blood
to be
Elf
filled
paladin is
June
more fun to play.
11th/12th. Now to look at some previous tiers then. All right, so okay. Look at how many Alliance guilds managed to defeat the Mythic end boss at the time the Horde filled theirs of the past few tiers. 12?
Yeah.
15?
Yep.
19, 20, and 30 friggin' guilds leave our server. 12 and 11. Wow. You know, it's a sort of thing like being heroic players. We have so little transparency into this scene. You wouldn't really know.
Because you don't care.
Yeah, there's
Why
so
would
much,
you?
There's so much to it.
But it all just gets so much
That's the
more,
funniest thing is there already is almost no reason to do mythic rating when you're doing heroic, really. Yeah, you're gonna get a bit better gear. Where are you gonna show off that gear? Mythic plus 15s? You only need heroic gear, really. You barely even need that. PvP? Doesn't matter, there's PvP gear for that. So where are you gonna show off your PvE tier from Raid? Also, the Mythic 15s that you're doing already gonna upgrade your heroic gear anyways, your heroic raid gear. So it's like, why would you ever even bother doing Mythic raid? Oh, for the challenge? Well, if you're doing it for the challenge, why is there loot?
extreme once you hit Mythic. That's incredible. Wow, what a problem.
I mean, that's the thing where I feel a lot of the time whenever I'm sitting, you know, on Ravencrest, Ravencrest as Alliance, I'm like, I'll go do an M+, or I'll go do a raid, and I look at the groups and I'm like, okay, that's not
Log
that
out.
many. Or, you know, M+, there's a lot, but like, I look for like a difficulty like a +9 or +10 or +11 or something for like a lower admiral character, and I don't see him. Like, fuck, guess I have to do my own keys or whatever else. But then raids, like my experience trying to get into a normal raid is that as Frost Mage, fuck me, 3 groups going, none will accept me.
Even
So,
though
yeah.
you can play Frost Mage well, and you
Oh, yeah.
know all of those fights, and
Yeah,
be an asset to those raids.
Yeah, I've
And it's normal, so who cares what spec you are?
cleared all
You can come as like as a pet spec, a beast mastery playing as your pet, and you'll be okay on a normal raid. Like, who gives a shit?
those fights. I mean, that's the thing where it's like it's hard to communicate that because of an alt.
Yeah.
It's like I know those fights probably better than most people who are doing them because also normal fights are fucking easy.
Yeah, that too.
But that's the thing where like it's just the item level thing
The
there. But
normal
it's also,
fights are literally LFR with a potential of a wipe, but like that's all they are. Their normal fights are so like LFR is legit snooze fest. Like you can sleep and just click buttons and you'll probably kill it. Normal, you just have to be half awake. Heroic, you have to be awake. Mythic, you have to be on like some like I don't know, like caffeine injected into your blood veins or some shit like that to pay attention to all the bullshit that's happening. But like normal is a fucking joke. The only problem with normal is like finding the group. If you could just queue into normal like you can queue into LFR, you would most likely get normal done easily, as long as there's an item level requirement.
More groups, that'll be less of a problem. And I'm just sitting thinking,
There's absolutely no reason for LFR.
Why do I
Normal
not play on Horde? Why do I not
is
play
easy enough for
Decent
LFR.
on Town Mill? Because I know there's more population. I know there'll be more groups, and that's going to result in a better experience. And that's the thing where with the way World of Warcraft designed now,
That's a weird yawn.
as this endgame focus game, there's the faction divide and the server divide looks so fucking out of date. And I'm not saying it should be removed or anything like that.
Also, I'm not saying that there's like, oh, there are players who like find normal hard. That's fine. Doesn't mean it's not something you can't queue into. Just because it's kind of hard. Okay, so this is why people would find hard or normal. They can't do what they do in LFR, which is like nothing and beat the boss. Okay, in normal, all you're gonna have is, if it's like first day, you're gonna have wipes, obviously. But on like week 2 or 3 and you queue into it, you just ask for like, yo guys, can you explain this boss, whatever, and it's like someone will explain the key mechanics that you need to be concerned about, and you'll be fine. Even if you have 3 people dying, 4 people dying out of a group of 14, you would still probably kill the normal boss. That's how easy normal is.
I think it had tremendous
Not the crab
value
apparently,
in
but
how
everyone
the game
else
was originally orchestrated, and you see some of that coming back with like classic and stuff with realm communities. But the way the game's designed now, it doesn't really match, and I think there needs to be workarounds for that for sure.
Oh, that's why the cross realms or cross faction stuff that's coming is like, wow, the likes of this happening really underscore how important that is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Will this change with cross faction? Maybe that's one question.
Nope.
It does not have cross faction guilds. That means the Hall of Fame would still be heavily skewed. Horde. So if this continues, then basically yes, they need to reassess how this entire system works.
Yeah, so this will like the only reason that would improve the Hall of Fame for Alliance is if Alliance guild need to fill, because what is it, 70% you need for a guild group? So you could fill 30% of your players from another faction or another realm, but that's it. But that's it.
Wow, right, crazy stuff. Next up, we do have a final little bit of top end where Midwinter have disbanded.
Yep.
Another one.
Yeah, so this is a week after Pieces, who were another Race to World First Guild, announced their disbanding. Midwinter are gone. I mean, Midwinter, they've been in that for such a long time.
Unless you're a sponsored guild for World First, you are not gonna compete for World First. Like, you have to be sponsored at this point. It is the financial liability of being World First guild, like actually competing for that shit, is just not. It's not feasible.
Yeah, so it's I guess an end of a thing.
And it's not even an esport; it's a community-driven esport.
So, man, kind of wild. Are there questions to? I mean, Dakor certainly has asked a few questions here, but I wonder.
Is there a big systemic problem causing these guilds to no longer raid? Players are fed up with the amount of time needed to compete. Yes. Becoming far more expensive to compete. Yes. Raids going on much longer than usual. Yes. Is the top end raiding community aging? Yes, but that shouldn't affect too much. Is there enough new blood to sustain it? No. Better games to play? Debatable.
Anything from the guilds? Anything from the players?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I suppose just there you go. Midwinter, they're yeah. I mean, they still exist. I just don't think. Oh wait, no, it's not just decided to stop Race to World First. They have quit.
Yep.
They've quit raiding.
Yeah. Not worth it.
Wild.
Damn.
I mean, that makes sense. Fuck no. Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it makes sense.
Well, not too much else to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rating scene in WoW is just fucking like The thing is, like, the bosses are not even like, I mean, they are the problem in a sense, but they're not even like the main issue of the problem. They're just like an extra problem, but like it's like it's the gearing system, the loot acquisition. The if you wanna actually do mythic, you actually need certain compositions. Like you can't really do with all compositions like whatever you want, right? If I want to play a red paladin in mythic raid, is it doable? Yeah. Should you? No, fuck no. You should. Like, you might as well bring like a rogue who has immunity more often. You might as well bring a demon hunter for the debuff, a monk for the debuff, a warrior for execute phases, like some and like mobility. Dark Knight, they have a better burst rotation, like with the certain buffs. Like if you need that burst, right? Anything is really better than like what you play. And even like if you're a DK, it's like which spec of a DK. Sometimes Frost, sometimes Unholy. You can't really like. It's such a shitty feeling when you can't play your main character the way you want to, and not be able to do the top content. Yeah, that's just one of the problems. Is like just but getting into mythic rating, like getting the players. One player has something that they have to do and they can't raid that day. The whole fucking night is like goes to shit, you know. And it's like it's not like you can just go and do it at any time. You're locked into the raid as well, so it's like if you kill one boss, you can't just go and practice the second boss with any other group. It's like so many problems with raiding in WoW, like in the Mythic. In Heroic, I think Heroic is fine. I don't care much about like I don't have many complaints about Heroic. In my opinion, loot acquisition should be better. But other than that, like I don't really care. Like the time investment need for Heroic, the gear you need for Heroic is a lot smaller. People did AOTC on Sepulcher on the first week. It's really not that, you know, it's not that high of a bar compared to Mythic. Mythic, there's too many problems just with accessibility, let alone with everything else. Anyways, good video. That was by Bellular. I will link the. I will try to remember to link the original video in the description. But honestly, because I only have so many days where I actually stream, it becomes really hard to like remember which videos I watched and find their link and stuff like that. Just it's very time consuming. I literally just record maybe like 20 or 30 videos and I like upload them as I can. Anyways, on to the next one.